Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle if you're new here, and today I'm going to be sharing with y'all some fermented items that I'm going to be making here in my homestead kitchen. The first recipe I'm going to be making is fermented spicy pickles. I love spicy just about everything. And so in this recipe, what I'm going to start out doing is chopping up about a quarter of an onion for a 1-quart jar. And I have a half a tablespoon of some spices that I got off of Amazon. If you're interested in those, I'll link them down below and you can get the exact same ones. And then I added some garlic because garlic always makes everything better. And then for that spicy kick, I added 1 whole jalapeno. And then I got my cucumbers and I sliced them up into quarters. You can choose to leave your cucumbers whole. It'll just take a little bit longer to ferment since it's going to take a little longer for the juices to penetrate the cucumber. After I have all my cucumbers sliced, it's almost like a puzzle in trying to get all these cucumbers to fit in here nicely. And you don't want any sticking up too high above the brine or it won't pick up the flavor, and sometimes it can also pick up mold. So I am trying to squeeze all of my cucumbers in here, and part of the way through I remembered, what would pickles be without dill? So I have some dill growing in my garden, and I went ahead and asked my daughter to cut a few slices. It was raining and she did me the favor since she was already going to go outside and cut me some dill. I'm really loving having a small herb garden. I'm able to pick from it and take some of the spices for cooking or making my ferments. And I just shove some of this dill down the sides of the jar and then finish putting the rest of my cucumbers in. And then I don't show me mixing this, but basically what I do is I take 1 quart of warm water and I mix 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt, and I mix that up really good, and then I fill up my jar and I kind of shake it around and rearrange the cucumbers if they're sticking up too high, and find them another spot where they'll go all the way down and be submerged in this brine. And then I finish filling up my jar, and I got these really cool lids on Amazon as well, where you can actually change the date to the date you started the ferment, or you can change it, I guess, to the day that you would like to finish fermenting. So I went ahead and put the date on there that I started fermenting on. And I let my pickles ferment for 4 to 5 days and then put them in the fridge so that they don't get soggy. This next recipe I'm gonna be sharing with y'all is spicy fermented carrots. I've never fermented carrots up until today, and I honestly really like them. I've had a few people who either really like them or they just don't like them. They don't like the carrot flavor, but I thought they were really good. So in order to make them spicy, of course, I'm adding jalapenos, and I'm also adding some onions just for some more flavor. And then after I have those ingredients, I go ahead and I add my carrots, and at first I'm dumping them in there, but then I want to rearrange them in order for everything to be nice and tight, and so things aren't just like floating around, and also so I can fit as many carrots as I would like to have inside of this jar. I also chose to use these baby carrots, so I didn't have to skin some other long carrots and chop them up and everything. This was just really easy and convenient. If I had to describe the flavor of these carrots being fermented, you still have like the sweet taste of the carrot, but you also have like that fizzy soda-y kind of kick in the back of your throat and on your tongue when you bite into these. And since I did make them spicy, you also have a kick of spiciness. So I don't know if that was one of the reasons why some people didn't like the fermented carrots, but other people who really like spicy were honestly the ones who really enjoyed the fermented carrots. And they also kept the nice crunch when these were done fermenting. I ended up letting them ferment for about 2 weeks on the counter. Or the pickles, like I said, I only let them ferment for like 4 to 5 days. So this was a little bit longer period. And I did that because I knew that the carrots were a little bit more dense and harder and crunchier. So this just worked out really well, because after I was done fermenting, they were still somewhat crispy, but not soft and soggy, and it was perfect. And I went ahead and added some dill to this since I had some left over. And then again, I pour my brine over and fill it up to the top, and then I put on these really cool lids that I have. And if you're interested in these lids, I'll link them down below, and you can click on that to find them on Amazon.com. And the final recipe that I'm going to be making is some spicy pickled onions. If you like onions and you like pickles, these are honestly amazing to go on burgers, with your barbecued meat, just about with almost anything you eat. You can put it in salads, you can put it on pulled pork. I honestly love how the onions came out so much that I plan on fermenting a lot more. Now, I chopped up way more onions than I needed, so I ended up getting 2 jars out of these onions that I had. I think I diced up 3, and there was enough for 2 jars. And then I also added jalapenos, which was another reason I was able to fill up 2 quarts total. If you don't like things spicy, you can omit the jalapenos, and if you like it hotter, you can even add like habanero or ghost peppers, whatever you want, into this. You can also add other spices if you like rosemary, thyme, fennel, just any kind of spices you want. I really just wanted a plain onion and jalapeno kind of mixture here. But like I said, don't hesitate to try something new, especially if you like certain types of spices like cumin or ginger. That actually sounds really good. I might try that. But anyways, I pack my jar full, fill it up with onions and jalapenos, and then I use the top of one of the skins of the onion to push down the rest of the onions and keep them submerged under the fluids, because the onions are diced into smaller pieces, and I was worried that if they came up to the top that mold would grow. However, with these lids, you are able to suction out the oxygen that's in there, and so the likelihood of you getting mold growing is a little less likely. But if you don't have these type of lids, you can use the skin of an onion and cover the onions, pour your brine over, and then just use a different type of lid that is loosely on there so that the gases can escape. Otherwise, you'll have an issue with either the jar breaking or too much pressure building up into it. I also want to mention, with these lids, the gases that build up are naturally released at the top. And so you don't have to burp these, which you normally have to do when you are fermenting. I was able to ferment all these different things, even though I only showed you recipes for 3 of them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like it and give me a thumbs up. And share with your friends on social media, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Y'all take care. Bye.